Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Jay and Jay in the Morning. Hope you've all been well. And our special guest today, he is returning. He was on in season 1. My dad, Chris Cardinale. Dad, how are you?
I'm doing good, boys. I'm the first returning guest, I guess, huh?
You're the second, actually, but still.
Oh yeah, who returned? Who was the first returner?
Robbie Finizio. He's also in the sports media club. Shout out to him. But still, they used to tell you when you were in first grade, first the worst, second is the best.
I like it.
All right, Dad, what'd you have for break?
What did I have for break? I did an Uber McDonald's. So I did what did I have? I had a hash brown and egg McMuffin and sausage McMuffin.
Bro, say less. I gotta go over there now. I gotta pull up to the house, please.
Yeah.
Give me the.
Do you put the hash brown on the egg McMuffin?
It's only customary to do so.
Okay,
yes.
Good. Sorry.
It adds an extra bit of flavor to it that you just can't beat. Really.
There you go, baby. We're on the same wavelength. Jake would never understand these things.
Of course.
Justin, what'd you have for break?
It's not what I had. It's what I'm currently having, actually, because Chris, you filled out the guest form. That's why you're here today, of course. So shout out to that. And I did make a promise saying that if somebody filled out the guest form, I will eat a bowl of multigrain Cheerios on the next podcast. So here we have a beautiful bowl of multigrain Cheerios that we're just gonna eat like candy today.
Yeah. Oh, you're doing it Jake style. Dry, no milk.
Who needs milk?
Exactly.
Who puts cardboard on milk?
Nice. All right.
This morning for breakfast, I had a plain bagel with cream cheese and multigrain Cheerios.
Shocker.
All right, we got a great show for you guys. Let's jump right in. The New York Jets, by the way, they look terrible, as usual. Unfortunately, their starting quarterback, the rookie Zach Wilson, he hurt his knee last game. He's out 2 to 4 weeks. That's what happens when you put a garbage offensive line in front of a rookie. Ask Joe Burrow. He knows how it feels. Just decided to trade a 6th-round pick to the Philadelphia Eagles to acquire former Super Bowl MVP. Unfortunately, that was about 10 years ago. Joe Flacco. He is now back on the Jets. Was on the Jets last year. Started a couple games when Sam Darnold was injured. Now, I'll start with you. What do you think about the move to go and get Joe Flacco? And he's actually not even starting this week. They're going to start Mike White this week against Cincinnati.
Honestly, it's not the biggest deal. They probably should have had it. They probably should have had a veteran in the room anyway. To be honest, I'm not sure why they didn't do that. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference for this season anyway. Either way, they said he could still play. He looked okay when he was with there last year. Some of the games, I don't know how much I don't know how much he's going to play. I think this kid White's going to start this week anyway. And again, I don't know how long Zach Wilson's going to be out. But for now, he's there, so not a big deal.
All right, Justin, I see your facial expressions. What do you think?
Yeah. By the way, guys, the texture of these Cheerios, it's just not it. It's just not it for me. I know it's it for Jake, but it's not it for me. That's okay because we're doing it. We're doing it for the people today. Joe Flacco. I mean, obviously, when you saw the topic list, I put in parentheses next to Joe Flacco gets signed to the Jets. Why? Why would you do that? Because yes, he didn't look bad on the Jets last year, but he didn't look amazing. He didn't look like a franchise quarterback. That obviously was not what he was meant to be there for. He was meant to more be a backup for Sam Darnold, who was out for some stupid reason. I forgot what it was. Was it mono for a second time or what? But honestly, if I'm going for a 6th-round pick, I just wish they would have traded for somebody better. I don't feel that that quarterback is their issue. I think because here's why. Because they're going to be starting Mike White, which is okay, I guess. But the problem is they have no offensive line to protect him. So then you're just going to lose potentially another quarterback. So what I would have done is I would have traded potentially for an offensive lineman just for a little bit more power there. To me, it just doesn't make any sense as to why Joe Flacco is back on that team. I really don't see it. I just feel once again the Jets front office is once again throwing a season out the window and disappointing me again. Go Jets.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of pointless. I mean, I don't know why he's not starting this week. This is a guy who's been in this league a long time. He started a lot of games. He should be pretty familiar with a lot of the guys on this team because he was here last year. There's not that many new guys there from last year. This Mike White guy, he's never played. He looked okay last game. He threw for like 200 yards, I think the 1 touchdown, the 2 interceptions. I mean, they got destroyed by the Patriots. It is what it is. They probably should have just re-signed him. That's what they should have done because now you would have saved the draft pick. I mean, if Zach Wilson's going to be back within a month, and they plan to play him again, you're not going to swing for the fences, and call the 49ers and ask for Jimmy Garoppolo, who is probably going to cost a high draft pick. And obviously Zach Wilson, they're going to want to give him a job back because they want him to learn and want him to play. So I guess it's okay if they're not going to play him. That doesn't make any sense because I would think he's better than Mike White, but not a big deal. Sixth round pick is not a lot to give up. It is what it is. Either way, we're probably looking at a 4-1 year anyway. Either way.
I don't think they wanted to. I don't think they wanted to bring in anybody, to be honest with you, that let's say they play well, then you have controversy to bring them back. I don't think they want that, to be honest with you. This is a lost season. I don't think they expected to do anything this year anyway. I think they needed a body. And probably who else was out there? Cam? I mean, honestly, who else is out there? Is that you want Cam Newton on this team? I don't want Cam Newton on this team. I don't want him on this team, but again, I don't think they want to have anybody in there that if they, God forbid, they played well, then you have an issue with bringing back.
You never know. If you sign Cam, I mean, I don't like Cam as a person. I think his career's over. This guy's a former MVP. This guy won an MVP. It's not like Flacco, who was a Super Bowl MVP 10 years ago. Kenny was an MVP 6 years ago, which is still a long time ago. He comes here and he looks decent. And the Jets, let's say, all of a sudden they're 4-6 and they might have a shot at the playoffs,
Yeah, plus they know what they're getting. They know what they're getting with Flacco. They had him in the building last year, so they know at least personality-wise.
The Jets probably should have traded for a GOAT. That's all I'm saying. They should have traded for my personal favorite quarterback, the Super Bowl MVP, 2-0 against Tom Brady, Nick Foles. That is what that team needs if they're looking for a quarterback. I legitimately think that the Bears would be stupid enough to trade him for a 6th round pick. I really do. Because Ryan Pace, I think, is an idiot. Anyway, though, moving on, the Major League Baseball World Series is here. One of the biggest events of the year, of course, and, because, it's always a historical moment. And it's against the Atlanta Braves versus the Houston Astros. So currently, as of this podcast, we're currently on game 3, correct?
Yes.
And I believe the Astros just destroyed the Braves, right?
Yes, 1-1.
Yeah, so the series is 1-1. So I'm wondering, but for the both, I'm wondering, who do you guys think is going to end up coming out on top, or who do you want to come out on top of this World Series?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I'm shocked. I'm shocked the Braves got there, to be honest with you. But they played well. They played well. They struggled, I guess, during the trade, when they could make before free agency ended, not free agency, to be able to pick in play, I forget what they call that, to bring in players. They brought in a bunch of guys and it really turned the team around. They went on a major roll there, and then they beat the Dodgers, which I was shocked. Dodgers were beyond loaded. I don't know how they do it with their salary cap beyond loaded. But I wasn't unhappy to see the Dodgers go. So you know what? You got two different guys. You got two different stories there for me anyway. I happen to like Freddie Freeman, so I wouldn't mind seeing Freddie Freeman win. And not that I like the Astros, but I like Dusty Baker. I wouldn't mind seeing him win. So either way, you know what? I mean, I'm a Met fan, so it doesn't really matter much to me who wins. But I think it should be a decent series. Got two good teams.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like you said, the Braves won 88 games. They're not the best. They're not the best team. The best team did not. The best team in the National League. You look. Yeah, but Giants won 107. Dodgers won 106. Nine of those teams got there. The Braves of 88. That like you said. In the first half of the season, they were a 500 baseball team, and like 2 weeks before the deadline, I think they lost Ronald Acuna, who he hurt his knee, tore his ACL. At that point, I was thinking their season's probably over, and then they're a 500 team with them. And then, they hung in there until the deadline. They decided, they went and got Jock Peterson, who's been great in the playoffs. They went and got Soler, who's turned the season around. They went and got they went and added to their bullpen, which was a must. They got some guys back healthy. They got Ian Anderson back healthy. He got hurt like July or August. They got him back. And, second half of the season, they're one of the best teams in the National League, and they've been, even better in the playoffs. It's kind of tough. The Braves always beat the Mets, so I don't want them to win. But also, obviously, the Astros, you can't respect them because they're a bunch of cheaters. Also, Dusty Baker deserves a ring. I think he's taken like 7 different teams to the playoffs, something crazy like that. He's had an incredible career. Definitely deserves a ring.
He's a great player too.
Yeah, he was an excellent player as well. And he deserves a ring. Do the players on the team deserve a ring? Deserve a second ring? No. But it's cool to see Dusty get a ring. It'll be a cool story if the Braves won. So it's like it's because it would be cool to see a non-juggernaut win. But hopefully it's a decent series. We're one game apiece right now, and I guess we'll see.
Yeah. As for my pick, as you guys said, Dusty Baker, very, very respected manager in the MLB. Very, I like Dusty Baker as well. However, number one, anybody who knows me well knows this. I will never ever root for a team that's cheated. I don't respect them. I do not want them to be successful, nor I think they deserve to be. And that is why I don't want the Astros to win. I would rather see the Braves win. And the other reason why I want the Braves to win is because I want them to kind of start to break the stigma that all Atlanta teams choke games. Because I want it to be because I think mostly it's because I want it to be it's just the Falcons. But everyone throws the Braves into there. They throw the Hawks into there. If we're looking in an esports area, they throw the Atlanta Reign into there. They throw the Atlanta FaZe into there. And the Atlanta FaZe on Call of Duty just won the whole thing. But they're an Atlanta team, obviously. How could you choke if you just won? If you just won a chip? So I want to see the Braves kind of come here, win this series. And prove that it's not every Atlanta team that throws away games. It's just Matt Ryan.
Yeah, well, as far as the Braves go, I mean, watching those teams all those years that won, would get there but failed to win. They did win one, and it's not coincidental with the 1 year that they won. They had a closer. A true closer. And that's one of the problems the Braves did not have. All that great starting pitching that they had all those years, Maddox and Smoltz and who's the lefty, Glavine. They had the young kid. They had so much great starting pitching, but they didn't have a great bullpen. They didn't have great. I'm trying to think of the guy that won with them. Wohlers, or maybe it was the guy that went to the Yankees. But the one year that they did one, they had a real closer, guy that led the league or up the top of the league, and they won that year. But every other year, they really didn't have somebody to close it out. I'm not sure who their closer is this year, to be honest with you. I haven't followed them like that closely.
It's Will Smith right now.
Is he good? Is he a dominating closer, or is he just good?
He's been excellent in the playoffs. He was solid in the regular season. I wouldn't say he's dominant. He's not bad though. He's probably a slightly above average.
Somebody else wants to be on the show today.
Oh man. Also, side question, because we did talk about closers. What do you guys think about PETA wanting to change the bullpen name to the Arm Barn?
Opal wants to get in on this one.
All right, Opal, what do you think?
So Opal basically just told me, she whispered in my ear, she says it's the most ridiculous thing she's heard ever.
Yeah, I would agree.
When you brought that up, I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's I might as well basically give this segment early 10 out of 10. I hate to say it, because it just like can PETA just stay out of it, please? They're not using actual bulls in their pen. It's just a name, please. Grow up.
This is cancel culture.
You know,
woke America at its best.
It's not even winter, and I'm seeing a bunch of snowflakes already. Like,
and they're out there.
Like, come on.
What do you think?
All right. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, the NBA is here. As you got my addiction, my withdrawal symptoms have passed because I'm watching the NBA all the time now, and we already got some good stuff ahead. First things first. About last week, the Lakers and the Suns played, and you saw that Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard on the Lakers, of course, they got into a bit of a shoving match. You know, this is a pretty big deal. So, really, honestly, just what do you guys think about this? Because this is supposed to be a team that's, could potentially take it all the way home, and already two of the players are having some infighting.
Is anybody shocked? I mean, Dwight Howard, look how many teams this guy's been on. He's not a loved guy. Definitely not my favorite. That team to me is not a likable team. Not a likable team. I mean, I'm not a LeBron. LeBron's one of the great players of all time, but his personality I could do without him. Westbrook's another guy, great player. His personality could do without him. Another team, how I don't know how all these guys on the same team with a salary cap, but somehow they find a way to do it. But not shocked. Not shocked.
Yeah, I've been telling people this team is not gonna. I don't even think this team gets the championship. I don't even know if it gets the Western Conference Finals. Okay, this team, LeBron is a great player. He's an all-time great. First of all, I can't stand the guy. The guy needs to put duct tape over his mouth sometimes. He needs to know when to shut up. And second of all, he's not the same player he once was. He's gonna have these minor injuries probably a lot now for the rest of his career. The ankle soreness. He's gonna miss a game 2, 3 with. And there's too many old guys on this team and too many personalities. You got LeBron, you got AD, you got Russ, you got Carmelo, you got Dwight, you got, there's a lot of personalities on that team. I think Frank Vogel is a good coach when it comes to, a guy who can really handle a locker room and handle all those personalities. I don't think he's like super duper tough in that matter. So
he's a good coach, though.
He is a good coach. I don't think it's going to work with that team. They're like you said, Dwight Howard. He was in Orlando for a very long time. He was with Houston for a couple of years, and since then he's just bounced. He's probably been on 5 different teams since then. So clearly he's not a light guy. Also, he has issues. He definitely has some issues of his own, and it showed. Yeah, this Lakers team, I think it's in trouble.
Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, what the hell just happened? Because because you almost never see that. The thing is that at the press conference, both Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard were kind of trying to make it seem like it wasn't that big of a deal. We're like, oh, we just both wanted to win and things like that. But there's a big issue there if you have to resort in starting to shove each other, because you know what, that could have potentially gone really bad. And just the fact there was a manner of physical contact in a sense of aggression rather than like giving somebody a pat on the back for a great shot or something, that to me shows a slow deterioration of a team.
Yeah,
So,
you know what? I did watch it too. It was funny because when I first saw it, I was like, wow. But then you saw the coach tried to get in between them, and they were almost telling to me, it almost looked like they were telling the coach, chill out. We're just talking to each other. I think they kind of make things bigger than they are sometimes. But you still don't want to see that.
yeah, you just don't, because it just doesn't look right.
Yeah, it happens. Trust me, it happens more than we ever see it. It's just you don't see it all.
Yeah.
And I think it happens in every
And one more point before we move on. Think about it. Anthony Davis, he's a leader on that team. The two leaders on the team are LeBron and Anthony Davis, and that's not the way you lead. If you're Anthony Davis, you know, you gotta know, LeBron James is 37. He's gonna probably miss a couple games here and there. There's gonna be times he's gonna have to carry the full load. And also Dwight Howard, is the guy who they just brought in. He's trying to make an impact any way he can. Another guy at the end of his career, and that's just not the way you do it.
Yeah, he's going to play too because unfortunately, I think AD's hurt again. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to another topic about something related to the Lakers. So far, a lot of people said going into this year that the Nets and the Lakers are going to be going at it in the in the NBA Finals this year. And currently both of them are 2-3. Yesterday both lost to teams that they should have won against. The Nets lost to the Heat. And the Lakers choked a 20-point lead against the Oklahoma City Thunder to give them to give them a win. So my question is now, after seeing this performance from these teams losing in the way they do, are the Nets and the Lakers really finals contenders? Like we have to think about it now. Are we seriously going to consider them at this moment? Teams that could potentially win the NBA championship.
You're asking me? I mean, I didn't think the Lakers were, to be honest with you. That's a weird mix. We'll see how it all works out. Westbrook's always been a guy that's played well, but really demands to have the ball in his hand all the time. In order to do so, and that's all. It's one of the reasons why he and KD probably didn't work out together. It's probably why KD, and Harden didn't all three work out together when they were all together originally. Question marks also. AD's one of those guys. He's a great player. He can never stay healthy. For whatever reason, can never stay healthy. As far as the Nets go, it's they got no Kyrie. So that makes a huge difference, I think, for this team. Even to have KD on that team, but without Kyrie, with all this stuff with the COVID, he's not going to play. And I don't see it changing anytime soon. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what happens. I think if they were fining him and he wasn't getting paid, which I don't think is the case, that he might play. Kyrie's a weird. Kyrie's a weird dude. He's a flat earther. He's weird. He's out there. As far as his stance on this, I'm kind of with him on this one. But as it pertains to basketball, I don't see either one of those as two of the teams that are, you would call them, favorites right now. But that's just me. I'd rather be talking about my Knicks. Not that they're going to be there, but I'll tell you what, this is a basketball team now. You know, they were a good story last year. They played hard. They played defense. They got exposed in the playoffs because, you know, their main guy really didn't play well, and they just didn't play well. And Atlanta was, I think, better than people thought. This is a different team. This team is deep. This team is deep. This team could shoot. This team plays defense. This is and they're well coached. I like them. I don't know if they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna make it to the final. But I'll tell you what, this is a good basketball team.
Yeah, I agree. Lakers, I don't see them getting there. They're too old. First of all, there's gonna be more injuries. LeBron's gonna have some more injury since AD can't stay healthy. You know, a lot of guys on their bench, Melo, Dwight, and then none of these guys are gonna be able to do it. They can't do it like they used to. Too many personalities, and like you said, there's too many ball handlers. LeBron's gonna have the ball. AD's gonna have the ball. Russ has to have the ball. Even Carmelo Anthony has to have the ball. And the problem is, you know, when he was on the Knicks, yes, he needed to have the ball, but I mean, there was nobody else really like him on that team. But also, Carmelo was an assassin. Now he is far from it. He can't score like he used to. He can't shoot like he used to. He can't, you know, he's not clutch like he used to. So if he's not, you know, a LeBron or AD type scorer like he once was, he's not going to always have the ball in his hands. So there's just too much stuff going on there. And kind of the same thing at Brooklyn. You know, Kyrie's not playing right now. He's got all sorts of issues. You know, he's got all sorts of issues. Like he doesn't want to get the vaccines. Now he can't play at home. And that's like, well, if we're not going to play at home, we're not going to play you at all. What are you going to do? Play 30 games? And you know, Durant can't stay healthy. Harden's got injury concerns of his own. And just there's no real playmaker outside of those three guys. I mean, Joe Harris is a great shooter. You know, Blake Griffin's still an okay player. Nick Claxton's a pretty good player, but I don't think they win a championship without Kyrie. So I'm going to say that those two are great teams, but I don't think either gets to the finals.
Yeah, I can't help but say the same thing also about neither of them are going to make the finals because let's start with the Nets first. You got the issue with Kyrie, of course, and you know that is very bad to lose a superstar like him. However, you have two of the best shooters in the league right now on your team. So what's the excuse about losing to the Hornets? Like, come on, man. I'm tired of saying I'm really tired of hearing oh no Kyrie. So what? You still have a lot of superstars on that team that could still that should still be able to do the work without him. And then as for the Lakers, yeah, they suck. Lakers suck. I hate to say it, but it's true.
Tell us what you really think, Justin.
The Lakers suck. Because you know what? Well, LeBron, I'm not a huge fan of LeBron James, but I do have to respect his skill at the game. He is a very, very good player. However, he's not as good as he used to be, and you're right because he is getting older. And you know, obviously he's going to be more injury prone, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, especially at 37 years old. But he just needs to accept that and maybe consider hanging it up if he hasn't already. And Anthony Davis can't stay healthy, like you said. And then Russell Westbrook, instead of going for triple doubles, is now trying to go for quadruple doubles with points, rebounds, assists, and turnovers, like he did yesterday. Because he had a nice 10 turnovers and an ejection with his 33-point triple double that day. They're just not good. And I think both of those teams have too many egos on them. I think they share something in common, to where every player on that team, on those teams, every superstar on those teams wants the basketball in their hands because they all think that they are the most clutch player to do it. And some superstars on those teams need to take a step back and say maybe I should give it to somebody else who's a bit more qualified to shoot the last shot. Like if I'm James Harden and there's 5 seconds left in the game, I'm giving it to Kevin Durant to shoot it before shooting it myself.
Yeah, I was watching ESPN, and I forget his first name, but Legler, who's an ESPN analyst, and he was a guard in the league. He was a very good player, and he was talking about, as far as the Lakers go, that he really believes that they need to split up LeBron James and Westbrook as far as time-wise. I mean, yes, they're going to be on the court at the same time some of the time, but he was saying that both of those guys kind of need to, or traditionally have had the ball in their hands, leading the team, and it's kind of harder when they're both on the court at the same time to stagger their minutes a little bit. But he said, I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but he thought that might be the best thing for the Lakers.
Yep. As we're talking about the Nets, I actually just want to ask another question because as you guys know, there's this new foul rule, right? This new offense. There's this new there's this new like offensive foul rule that there is regarding like shooting and things like that. It's affecting a lot of players. So do you guys think maybe this could be a bit of a factor for the Lakers and the Nets constantly losing because some of the players, Kevin Durant, James Harden, even players like LeBron James, who are always getting to the line from these really dumb moves that they do to
Which rule are you talking about? Explain that.
Yeah, you know how
kick out with the legs, or what is that?
Yeah, like what Trae Young used to do last year, where he would like jump up in the air and like wait for the guy to like hit him and they would shoot it. Like he did it, Steph did it, all of them did it.
Yeah.
That's no longer allowed. They changed that rule. So if you ask me, James Harden is being a complete crybaby about it. He's saying he's being targeted. I mean, he's not. I mean, Joel Embiid, who got to the line all last year, his numbers are down. Dame's numbers are down. Harden's numbers are down. A lot of these superstars' numbers coming out of the beginning of the season, the numbers don't look as great. It's because they were probably almost getting 8 or 10 free points last year because they were just drawing fouls. By when it shouldn't have been a foul, and now they're not calling that. So, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that.
I think this foul rule adds a little bit more integrity to the game. And here's what I mean by that. I'm not saying that they cheat. I'm not saying anything. I'm not trying to imply that. Here's what I mean. Here's what I mean. When we look at this rule, we can now determine who is actually skilled at the game and who's skilled at going to the free throw line. So a player like Steph Curry was skilled at both. He really was. He's just an overall skilled player. And then there's also and he was also very good at getting to the free throw line. And then there's a player like James Harden, who's also a very, very skilled player. However, especially on the Rockets, he would go to the foul line 10 times a game, which is probably why his scores, why his points are so much lower, because he actually needs to because he can't get away with getting these fouls as much as he was used to. But that also goes for a lot of other players as well. And that's what I mean. I think it adds some more integrity to the game to see who can actually shoot and who could just flop their way to the line. So I think this is a great rule change for the NBA as a whole. Shout out to Adam Silver for that one once again being the best commissioner of the 4 primary sports right now. But anyway, I'm really excited for the season, and I want to see if maybe the Nets and the Lakers could come back and do it. But you know what I'm more excited for? You hate to see it.
All right. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. We got lots of content for you guys today. First, let's start with this. So we got Bradley Beal, great player on the Washington Wizards. Justin knows what's coming. He had a not so great moment. Let's just lower the volume without blasting in my ear on the video. Let's rewind. So he's got the ball. He puts in. Oh my goodness! He misses two 2-foot wide open layups. Dad, how much do you hate to see that?
I thought it was pretty funny, to be honest with you. I didn't realize it was at the end of the second because I saw it eventually went in, but I didn't realize when I watched the highlights that I guess it didn't count.
So 1 to 10, what's your rating?
I give it a 5. It's a non-committal.
7 out of 10. I hate to see it. All-star player, by the way. This guy.
Yeah, he's a scoring machine.
Yeah, he's a scoring machine. But whenever he needs to make a wide open layup, he basically forgets how to play basketball. Looks like on this.
Yeah, it's not a terrible team.
Yeah. This is definitely going to be unchecked in the full, by the way. Because it's just so bad. 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. I hate to see it because as a superstar player, you just should not be missing those twice.
10 out of 10. This guy's a superstar. He's considering maybe requesting a trade. But I don't blame him. The Wizards are terrible. He's supposed to be on a better team, but you can't be doing that and then ask to be traded, to a championship contender. 10 out of 10. You hate to see it. Come on, man.
All
right, so the Atlanta Braves are in the World Series, like we discussed before. I don't think they're gonna have a lot of success if they make throws like the one I'm about to show you. Just looking for the clip. Where did my clip go? Where is my clip? Let me move you guys over here so we can X out of this thing. Where am I? Oh, here's my clip. So we got, all right, and nice hit. We got a nice hit. Left field. And, there's no one at third base.
Great throw, though.
It was a good, but no one at third base. Why is no one at third base? Let me rewind. So, let's see. No one's at third base. The third baseman, Austin Ray, I don't know where he's going. He goes in for the cutoff, and the shortstop. And the shortstop, supposed to be covering third. They don't need a cutoff guy here. You got the cutoff guy is here. So they're coming home. He's just in like Narnia. Dad, how much do you hate to see that?
As a coach, that's terrible. That's some terrible baseball right there. I think the outfielder made the right throw. He made a good throw, actually. No one was there. Sometimes you tell your catchers, when you're throwing down to second base, I don't care if the guy gets it, throw it to the bag. They're supposed to be there.
1 to 10, how much you hate to see that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna give that one a 9.
10 out of 10. Hate to see it. Perfect score. Number one, this is a World Series game, and you can't be making those stupid mistakes. And also, what is it? What is it with baseball teams and throwing on third base? Jeez, you got the Yankees third baseman. You got the Yankees third baseman with Aaron Judge, and now you got now you have this. 10 out of 10. You really hate to see it. You can't be making these mistakes, especially when you have a championship on the line.
I agree. 10 out of 10. That was so funny. I mean, Dansby Swanson, the shortstop. What is he doing? All right, the guy's coming home. The third base is a cutoff. You don't need a cutoff man in the outfield. It's not no one on base and, you're the cutoff to throw to second. Yeah, the cutoff is right there at third base. You need to cover third base. Either that or Riley needs to stay at third, and now the left fielder has no cutoff, but at least they'll get the lead runner. And now there'll be 2 outs. They can probably easily get out of the inning with only being down 1 run. It would have been probably 3-1, and they end up tacking on another run. It was 5-1. So that's what cost them the game. 10 out of 10. You hate to see it. What are the Braves doing with their lives? Right. This next one was hilarious. So this is the Indianapolis Colts and San Francisco 49ers game from last week. There's been some bad interceptions in the NFL history. Tua had a horrendous one earlier this year. Jameis Winston probably has like 50 of them in the last 2 years alone. This might be the worst interception in the history of the NFL. Let's watch this. Let's watch Carson Wentz do Carson Wentz things. He's like, and just, oh no. Okay, let me just show this again. What on earth was he doing? Look.
That was a perfect shovel pass.
It was. Oh my God. Where is he throwing it? The nearest receiver is in the end zone.
I think he was, believe it or not, trying to almost shovel it over that guy, and it almost looked like it slipped out of his hand, and it just ended up being a perfect shuttle pass to the defender. Did that guy take it to the house?
He did not, but how much do you hate to see that?
Yeah, that's a 10 out of 10. That's Mark Sanchez like right there. Jake and I used to talk about a Sanchez interception is like the Jets will have a great drive to get down, within the 10-yard line for him to throw an interception. That's a Sanchez like play right there.
Justin, while you go through all the stages of grief, how much do you hate to see this?
Knowing Dan Orlovsky, he would say that's a great pass.
He probably would.
He would. 10 out of 10. I hate to see that. What? You know what he needs? He needs the Jameis Winston LASIK eye surgery. That's what he needs. A nice shovel pass into a red and gold jersey, and I'm colorblind. So when even I know that, you gotta get your eyes checked. Eyes checked Wentz. 10 out of 10. God, he sucks.
That's 10 out of 10. You hate to see it. What on earth? He looked like Bobby Boucher from The Waterboy trying to make a pass. I saw that meme, I think on Instagram. It was side by side. Bobby Boucher, like before he turned into the beast, and he was playing quarterback. He was like, what will I do? It's like this two-handed shovel, two-handed almost chest pass right to the defender. What was this man doing? This guy is not a good quarterback. He had one good season, and even that season he had a top 5 O-line. He had amazing weapons. He had Frank Reich as offensive coordinator. If it wasn't for Frank Reich, he would probably be a backup somewhere. I expect him to be on a different team and not as a starting quarterback next year. This guy is terrible. 10 out of 10. That was absolutely terrible. All right, let's go to
Opal's going 10 out of 10 on that one.
All right. By the way, Jake, one of the clips I have is the Bradley Beal one. So do not show that one again. I believe the top clip is the one I want to show you. As the one you want to say first one.
All right. Let's see if you are correct.
It should be.
Oh, you're right.
Yes, it should be with Carl. All right. So let me break this down for you here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first time first. Yeah, don't worry about it. It actually looks like a good movie. So let me break this down for you. So, Celtics, Timberwolves. Here we go. So a pass there. Karl-Anthony Towns goes for the shot, bricks it. Somebody gets the rebound, bumps into his teammate, out of bounds, and then Karl-Anthony Towns just loses his mind. Can we get a replay on that just to see? Just
we
see
can.
exactly what happened. Let's see that again. We got to watch the film. All right, so look at this. Bumps into another player, into out of bounds, and he's mad at his teammate for that. It's like it's so like guys, how much you hate to see it? Chris, we'll start with you.
Yeah, it's a 10 out of 10 right there. First of all, you got to help your player up. Can't show your teammates up like that. I don't care if you make a mistake like that or not. But 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Current Towns, he's just a terrible teammate. He always has been. There's a reason Tom Thibodeau didn't work out there, because guys like him just don't want to give it, full hustle. Like I said, you can't show up your teammate. You gotta help him up. Anthony Edwards is only in his second year. He's gonna make mistakes. Timberwolves are a young team. They're not a good team. They're gonna make mistakes. I mean, as terrible as they've been the last few years, Towns is the one constant that's always been there. He's got to start realizing he's the problem. He's a great player, incredible scorer, incredible shooter for a guy his size, but he's one of the worst defenders in the league. You can't be 7 feet tall and be playing center every game and be just an atrocious defender. 10 out of 10, you hate to see it. That's why I don't like Cardinale Towns, and that's why I think he's overrated.
I'm gonna give this a fat 4 million out of 10. There's an interesting game sense and nonsense. This is nonsense. It just looks so bad. I mean, how long has he been in this league? 8 years. You gotta watch out for you gotta watch out for your teammates, and also you're right. You gotta help them up, and grow up, suck it up. Game's not over. Keep playing. 10 out of 10. I hate to say it. And now for our final segment, it is Jake and Justin's Athlete of the Week. So Jake, Athlete of the Week, please.
Okay. My Athlete of the Week goes to Derrick Henry. And why Derrick Henry? So people say, oh, MVP is a quarterback's world. Only quarterbacks can win, so Derrick Henry can't win it. So what does Derrick Henry do? He becomes a quarterback. He goes a touchdown pass. He's like, oh, it's a quarterback only award? Fine. I'll become a quarterback then. 10 out of 10, get the man the MVP right now.
It's a good one.
All right. For my Athlete of the Week, I put this in parentheses who I'm doing. Obviously, it's me. I'm obviously the Athlete of the Week, because I'm on the esports team, of course, and we won again against Culver Stockton. We're now playoff bound, and here's the reason why I chose myself, because Justin Herbert was on a bye, Justin Tucker lost, Justin Fields lost. There's only one Justin athlete left, and that's me. I won. I'm the greatest Justin athlete of all time. Right here, boys. Thank you so much for watching Jake and Justin in the morning. Fill out the guest form, and I'll see you guys next morning. Peace out.
You missed one, though. You missed one. I'm surprised at the both of you guys.
What I miss?
All right, so how about the pitcher from the Braves pitching on a broken leg?
Oh my God, that was crazy. Charlie Morton, that was crazy.
How good was that? Pitched, went into the dugout, came back out, and pitched again on a broken fibula.
So I guess Charlie Morton is my dad's Athlete of the Week.
Yeah, that would be mine. Guys, I enjoyed it. Thank you so much for having me again.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure having you on.
Always good to see you, Justin. Love you, buddy. Love you, Jake.
Love you too, Dad. And that's all we got for you today. Peace out. Fill out the guest form. I'll see you next week.
I'm the best Justin athlete of all time.